Welcome back to the Fan Channel Review here on the Football Terrace. Hit like buttons right now. Maybe leave your comments until the end of the video. I want to try that as a test. Leave it until the end and you watch everything. Loads to go through today. Arsenal, United, Chelsea, City. Strap in. There's some great clips, some great opinions. Let's start here with Jason Cundy reacting to Arsenal getting the penalty yesterday. Let's take a listen.
It's the ball. I don't think this is a penalty. I think this will get overruled. He gets the ball. He gets the ball. He gets enough of the ball, Jay.
Does he get enough of the ball?
Yeah, he does for me, mate.
Jake, I don't know.
He doesn't get the ball. He touches the ball. There's a clear distinction. You have to win the ball. So you have to a point where you have to dispossess your opponent and have relative control, as an example. Gabriel, there's a slight touch, but Gabriel's going to get onto the ball. So it isn't a penalty. Facts.
You can see your screen and see it. But, I mean, for me, that's still a penalty.
No, it's not foul.
Well, I'll tell you what, Martin Odegaard is stood on the penalty spot with the ball in his hand. Obviously, this is going to be checked as we speak. I mean, it has to be.
He gets ball. It's the most important thing. If he gets no balls, it's a stone.
But it isn't the most important thing. We've seen mistakes already this year. The Doku on McAllister, which, by the way, Jason Cundy said was a penalty. He touches the ball as well, but it's irrelevant. Getting a touch on the ball doesn't stop it from being a foul.
Waller. But he gets enough of the ball for me to direct. Yes, he gets manned. It's part of the consequence.
Still beating, though. Still goes past
Well,
it.
we're still waiting. This is the classic, the old classic, that no one really knows what's going on. But Saka's putting the ball on the spot now. I have to say, I think this penalty's been given and it's about to be taken. That is exactly what is happening.
I think it's a bad call. I think it's a bad call. He gets ball. There's enough for the ball.
Doesn't get enough of it,
I think he does.
Still goes past him.
I think he does. Listen,
Go on, Jake. We'll leave it to it.
Well, Saka's going to take it. Up he steps, and he puts it in. And that is, quite frankly, an unbelievable set of circumstances. Arsenal are going to take the lead, a lead that you have to say they quite frankly don't deserve, certainly based on the fact that it was awarded for a penalty that they didn't deserve. I wouldn't say they've been on top in the game so far. Tarek Lamptey looks absolutely disgusting, and I don't think you can blame him. I can't even believe that the referee wasn't asked to go and have a look at it at the screen.
You could see the disgust and the pain and the frustration in Cundy because Arsenal got that goal. And listen to that commentator say that Arsenal didn't deserve the lead at that point. They'd had an abundance of chances up until that stage. Brighton had done that, they'd attacked well, but not broken any of the defensive lines of Arsenal. Crazy commentary and punditry.
Remember, Saka didn't even play in midweek. He was injured. Back in the side today as well. It's a 14th Premier League goal of the season. Mikel Arteta claps. It's Brighton 0, Arsenal 1.
Well, I mean, that is a terrible decision.
Of course he's going to think it's a terrible decision. Look, I stand by it. I think it was a penalty, the same as I thought Doku's was a penalty. The same, by the way, twice this season. I think Martinez did it in goal for Villa against Man United, and Ederson did it where they came out with loads of power, won the ball, won it far more. You could say it was much cleaner tackle than what we saw from Lamptey, but took the player out. And I think all of those things, in my opinion, are foul.
You need to start sending some apologies to Havertz. He's delivering. You notice Havertz is like playing every game as well.
Yeah.
His fitness levels are insane. Havertz this season, he has proved everyone wrong, and he has...
Kai Havertz, do you think he's proved everyone wrong, and does he deserve apologies now? Or do you think maybe wait until the end of the season? I'm throwing it out there as a genuine question. I have my view. I think he has proven people wrong. I think he's been an astute piece of business. Doesn't pass the eye test, but Robbie here calling out Turkish and other people that have doubted Kai Havertz. Is it time for the big apologies? Let us know in the comment section below.
Nice.
Who we've signed for 105 million that we're now singing is we got him half price. The guy is phenomenal. I'm sorry, bro. It's phenomenal. I sit here at Luton on Wednesday night about we got him half price, Declan Rice, we got him half price. Yeah. And I thought that's quite a good joke. Do you know what? Kind of feeling like it's true now.
Yeah.
Honestly, like this guy has got everything about his game. And you know, like I was saying to my friends on the way up to Luton the other day, I was thinking, after Patrick Vieira at the Emirates era, Who's really come in and got near to him? Not so.
Big claim there. Gooners watching, rivals watching. Is this the best Arsenal midfielder since Patrick Vieira? Especially from a holding position. Maybe you won't consider the Ozils are a different kind of quality as an example. Santi Cazorla, a different type of footballer. But that holding midfielder, surely, I mean, he's the best since Vieira. And listen, depending on what Arsenal go on to win, if anything at all, it could be really interesting. But up next, by the way, people, go and check out the squad. The first in-studio podcast was done. That isn't the one with the big star that we're going to be doing it with, but go and check it out. Thank you for all the support. It's been amazing. But up next, if you don't believe that Arsenal hate exists, you got to watch this.
Oh,
cut back. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh my fucking God.
It's your guy.
Ridiculous.
Chuck.
Ridiculous.
Oh, this goes again.
What did I just say about changes? I've been screaming for the last 15 minutes. You need to make substitutions. You have to make substitutions. You're wasting time. Fucking deserve it. Sleeping on the job. Fucking hell, man.
And it gets even funnier. Take a little look at this from a man like Matisse.
That's man of the match.
What?
That's man of the match.
He went and got out. The best bit is he went and got out of his suit. He went and got changed. He was in that much pain.
Right, bye-bye.
What's he doing?
That's your last contribution. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Oh, what do you mean, bye-bye?
No more watch along. Bye-bye. Finish. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Stop it. Get some help.
About no more points deductions in the future and fines being given out. And I'm sort of like, well, what does that do? I mean, Nottingham Forest and Everton have done what are perceived to be quite minor things comparable to the years of charges that Man City have been charged with. You can't give a fine to a club if they get found out for doing something. I mean, look, with Man City, they did something Newcastle can't do. Newcastle are the richest club in the world and they can't throw the money in because they've got to earn it compared to revenue, which they don't have. Man City didn't have those rules for 10 years and they've built a dynasty. What are you going to do? Give them a fine for it? No. They must have points deducted. They must end up in different leagues. It would be absolutely ridiculous in my opinion. So no, I'd be dead against that.
It's interesting what Mark says there because there's a lot of false correlation, not so much between Mark, but a lot of the viewers of TalkSport on this segment. Yeah, the Premier League are looking at removing points deductions from teams that lose too much money, so breach the standards and the rules surrounding profit and sustainability in FFP. But what Man City are charged with and what Chelsea are being investigated for is for cheating that system and creating an income or spending money in a way in which that is outside the rules. So nothing in the announcement from the Premier League this week that they are looking at removing points deductions have they said anybody that essentially commits fraud, that inflates their income, has fake sponsors, makes payments for players or managers or pays salaries via mechanisms outside the club. They've not suggested at any point that isn't going to be punishable by points deductions, relegations, stripping of trophies. So I think fans need to relax on that. And Goldbridge is right. If City have committed the crimes, if you want to call them that, against football that they're charged with, if they're guilty, depending upon the severity and what we find out, of course they need to be kicked out of the league. Of course they need points deductions. Of course they need titles being stripped. But people have got to stop correlating between points deductions that Everton and Forest and Leicester have had or facing versus what City and Chelsea are going through. They're simply and utterly, in my opinion, not the same thing at all.
Other managers with worse players get a tune or get an identity or get a style, something that you can say, if you change this, and this with the players, that will increase. We've seen it with the more successful managers. We saw it when Klopp went in. We saw it with Arteta. We saw it with Pep. Yeah. We're not seeing that. We are regressing. We are getting moved to. Burnley went to that same stadium in the last fucking game with 10 men and Vincent Kompany in the stands, bro. In the stands. With dead players that are championship, man, they're going to get relegated. So how can Manchester United legislate with that? Have we got better players than Burnley? We should do. Right.
We should do. Listen, Flex's rant is spot on. And I think that every single day I get called out by defenders of Ten Hag. And listen, they're absolutely entitled to their opinion surrounding him and wanting to keep him. And I get they view it as a negative pylon when it comes to the club, but I don't see it as a negative pylon. I believe these call-outs of our manager, the direction that we're going in and what we need to fix us, are positives. They're positives. It's no different, in my view, to when sometimes I have to tell my children off. All three of them, Archie, Freya, and Jackson. Sometimes they do things that warrant being told off. And the other day I told Jackson off, and he looked up at me. He's nearly 4, and his lip was going, and he had tears in his eyes. And deep down inside, I felt pain. I thought, I hate making him cry. I didn't even really raise my voice. He just got told off for doing something wrong. I'll tell you what he even did. He keeps getting too close to the dog's face. Now, my dog is very well trained. I'm very comfortable with my dog. But I keep telling my children, you don't put your face too close to his. He's still a puppy. You never know, right? I'm trying to be safe. So I told him off for doing it. And he looked so upset. And part of me felt broken that he looked so upset. But the worst thing I could have done is go, do you know what? Oh, bless you. I'll give you a cuddle. It's okay. Do what you want. I don't want to see you upset. Because if something terrible was to then happen, I would be accountable. And I have that same logic for my football club. I don't care how much it upsets people. I don't care how negative it sounds on the surface level. I'm saying what I am, and I know that Flex means the same thing here. We want the club to improve overall. Now, sticking by this manager, it's not even about his tactics anymore. It's not even about the lack of improvement. It's not even about the fact that we struggle home and away, out of possession, structurally as a team with holes everywhere. Forget all of that for a minute and imagine it can be fixed overnight. I believe what we need to do, and still some people write paragraphs in our comment sections here, challenging this, which is, I respect it, but they don't answer this one simple point. And I would love them to answer it. Tell me why you think I'm wrong for stating that I think we need a almost complete player clear out, but that is going to take 2 or 3 summers to do. But I believe we should clear out most of these players. I believe the football decision makers need to go and new ones need to come in. That's pretty much happened or will be happening. I believe a lot of the recruitment team has got to change. And I believe the coaching and management of the football team has to change. I believe it needs to be a blank canvas to begin with. The only element of overlap is players, because you can't get rid of an entire squad straight away, but you start as you mean to go on. And the first players that leave, you look at individuals that don't want to be here, don't buy into the ethos, or don't fit the style of play you set as a club. We need a complete and utter reset. We haven't had one. There's been no rebuild and no reset once since Sir Alex Ferguson left. We know that now factually because of all the stories that have come out. That is what we're asking for. It isn't about Rashford or Bruno. It isn't about McTominay or Maguire. It isn't about Ten Hag per se. Yes, we critique him in terms of the game, but wanting him removed is about the club starting again from scratch. And by the way, if it was feasible, doable, plausible to get rid of the majority of this squad, barring 1 or 2 players I think should stay, and change them all in one summer, I would advocate for that as well. But it is it just doesn't work. We've seen a few clubs buy too many, sell too many, and it makes you even more disjointed. And we're going to be disjointed at the beginning as a new process starts to come together. So Flex is bang on to call this out, because the footballing element is awful. Teams that are getting relegated have better structures than we do, can see out games at times better than we do, with championship and lower quality players. The fact that certain United fans don't call this out, honestly, it pains me. Do me a big favor, hit the like button, leave us your comments below and subscribe, and we'll see you all again very, very soon. Peace.